I'm talking to you, so come on. Shout!
Good morning, everybody. 18 minutes after the hour. Welcome to the Sunrise Show. Craig Fronikin, and tell you, so glad to welcome onto the program Natalie Manor. I tell you, she has appeared on television, radio. She's been published in USA Today, the Chicago Tribune, Self, The Entrepreneur, Men's Health, Runner's World Magazine. I mean, done it all. She is a author and writer and speaker and founder and CEO of Natalie Manor and Associates. She's a recognized leader in executive development. And I'll tell you what's happened recently is she's got a wonderful new project out, a series of ebooks on confidence equals the best stress reducer. And she's number one category when it comes to business communication etiquette. Natalie, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning. Oh, my goodness. I'm fabulous, aren't I? So nice to be with you. So nice to be with you again. You know what? I do a lot of radio, and I do a lot of television and everything else. And I have to tell you, you're a consummate professional, and you're very interested in what's going on in the world. So I always love being with you. So thank you.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much for the compliment. We aim to do all that, just yep. we want to have fun. We want to get the information out there because I've always felt that our listeners are the smartest, best listeners, and you just give them the information and they'll take the ball and run with it. So, talk about this ebook. Of course, you can get to her website, messystress.com, and there's a download. We'll talk about that as well. But this ebook on confidence in the business communication etiquette, that's got to be huge right now.
Oh, truly. Because people really don't know what the etiquette, and it was a very difficult problem before we started texting. And texting, has only been around years. It feels like, our new way of communicating. It really is. We went from telephone to email, which annoyed the heck out of everybody. Oh, I'm getting 30 emails a day, to now you're getting 250 texts. And that's how we do our data. But the communication etiquette about being in relationship with people has really not changed. You do not walk up to somebody and say, "Dude, how's your feet?" Athlete's foot. I mean, it's just like you don't. You walk up to somebody, and if you're, in the United States, you shake hands, and if you're in Asia, you do a slight bow, and there's, culturally a way that we build rapport, and our smart devices is pretty much taking that away. And maybe, in 100 years it'll be different, but it is still the kindness, the genteelness, the classiness of being in relationships. So when we talk about business communication etiquette, it's really very, very simple. You meet somebody new, treat them like a new person and, show respect. If you know somebody already, set that up in a way that you can build that rapport and that relationship, and don't text people that you don't know, and stop using abbreviations. That's for the high schoolers. I have clients who are running multi-dollar organizations, Craig, that are starting to write their emails and their personal proposals with abbreviations in them, like LOL and U and using numbers. And it's just not okay. We need to continue with all communication. And one of the highest ones, one of the biggest ones, is when you meet somebody that you care about, or you've had a good lunch, or they've been kind to you, or whatever, you just send them a physical, handwritten, self-addressed, stamped envelope, and 6 weeks from now or 12 years from now, they will still have it, because it's such an unusual thing to receive.
Oh, absolutely. And I was going to ask you about people being in such a hurry, and the loss of communication in email. Everybody thinks that email works, and now college kids, like you were saying, they've poo-pooed on emailing, and now it's just all texting. But at the same time, texts should also have full punctuation, right?
Yeah, and not only full punctuation, but full words.
Oh, right.
Because when you use LOL as laughing out loud, it's okay if you're texting with your best friend, but
Right.
when you're dealing in business, there is a symmetry to communication. There's a classiness to it, and people feel valued and listened to when you take the time. And you just brought up a point that I tend to go off on. So, back if I just go off on you when you say we're so busy. I don't know if we're really that busy, Craig, but I think what we're choosing to run our lives with make us crazy and make us stressed and make us feel like everything is busy because, where's your phone right now? Where's your smart device?
It's sitting right here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and where's everybody else's? They're checking it when they're driving, and if you ask a woman now, would you rather lose your phone or your purse? They'd say, oh, God, I could never lose my phone, take my purse. I mean, it's just, it's so shifted that it makes us stress about what needs to be done. And taking time to plan. Here's something that's really ironic. There's a consulting company in New York, and they're doing it all over, which will charge you $10,000 for a weekend to disconnect from your smart device. And all they do is, take it at the beginning weekend, and then they talk about, how do you reduce stress, and by Sunday night you feel good. Well, you could save the $10,000, or you can send it to me, and I'll do it more quickly for you and more easily.
That's so funny, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I brought the we're so busy thing into the mix is that I find less tolerance. And in business, you've got to have more tolerance, and you're not listening to people. So between lack of tolerance and lack of listening, we got a real problem, don't we?
Well, we have a problem because of the fact we're constantly pushing pushing that button called fight or flight. Now, we've all heard about that in our career, and we go, oh, yeah, no. But it really is the cortisol that's coursing through our body because we constantly push that button called the startle effect, like, oh, there's that phone call. Oh, there's text. Oh, I got to move fast. Oh, I'm going to be late. It's constantly pushing the button called cortisol that flows through our body. Well, all of that has been connected to larger tummies. I mean, how many people are constantly, looking at, wow, my stomach is too fat. Mine is. Stress with trying to fall asleep, using alcohol or drugs to calm ourselves down. But, if you've got that cycle called, I'm pushing that button called busy, and then I don't listen, you bring up a really, really good point. Pretend right now you and I are together.
Okay.
And we're physically looking at one another.
Okay.
If I'm not having eye contact with you and I keep glancing down at my phone and I'm shifting in my seat, what am I indicating to you?
That you're not interested.
Yeah. So when you're with your phone, your smart device, all of the time, and it pulses in your pocket and you reach down to, look at it, and we're having a conversation, what's more important, my phone or you?
Oh, exactly. That's what's happening. People are getting kicked to the curb, because of their phone. So they're losing against the electronic device.
So body language, believe it or not, the language that we globally, all humans on the face of the earth, now, you may have a little bit of cultural differences, but this is all humans. 55% of how we communicate with other people is our body language, is what are we saying to them when we're with them. 39% is tone and pacing.
Right.
Tone and pacing. So it's sort of like, hi, Greg, how are you? How are you? We know the difference immediately, because if you look at a new parent with a baby, what are they always doing? They're stimulating, like, ah. We learn very, very early as a little one that tone and pacing and body language is. It's only 9% that's the words. So our words are, the texting words, mail words, or how we're beginning to communicate text talk to other people. People go, so how are you today? Good. So what's been going on? We're shortening everything up, and so what we indicate 55% of their body language, 39% of our tone and pacing, is we're really not all that interested. But humans, evolution, the brain, the serotonin, all the, the 100 million cells, 100 trillion cells within our bodies are responsive to normal human interaction. So shaking of the hand, the slight bow, the smile, the holding the chair, the, opening the door, those are all very fine and customary and usual responses of the body communication. And when they go away, like listening, me not listening to you because I'm not paying attention, I'm not giving you eye contact, and I'm going, you know that I'm not interested. So if we're trained that way, that's what we're showing other people. And it's disrespect, and there's no rapport.
Well, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the lack of respect and lack of rapport. It's huge, and it's huge in business. And Natalie, we've got a break we need to take, but let's come right back. We've got Natalie Manor with us this morning, ladies and gentlemen, world-renowned. Well, she's written books, she's been on television and radio, and she does all kinds and she spent her life on business coaching, and she's got an ebook out right now, Confidence Equals the Best Stress Reducer. And wait till you hear what she's got to talk about in these different new series coming up. So let's take a quick break and come right back. More on the Sunrise on News Radio 880 KCMX after this.
So get up. Top of the morning to you.
Good morning, everybody. 33 minutes after the hour. Welcome back to the Sunrise Show. Craig Fronikin, and continuing with Natalie Manor, and she just does so much great stuff. She's a co-author of 5 books: Give Stress a Rest, Wholehearted Success, Magnetic Leadership, Communicate Clearly, Confidently, and Credibly, and her latest book, Roadmap to Success. But here's the next thing. She's got a series coming out on ebooks on confidence. And Natalie, it's great to have you on. You mentioned, do I dare say it, epigenetics.
Okay, so I'm not going to get technical about this at all, but in the last 20 and 30 years of the self-development movement, and then the scientists, the physicists getting on board, and we're all recognizing that prayer works, and there's energy, and there's vibrations, and your mindset and your beliefs. Having said all of that, there is a study of how we think called our environment, called epigenetics. And here's what that is all about. When we were younger, the number one thing that we learned is our genes, Genes, were permanent. If your dad had cancer, you're going to have cancer. If your mother had diabetes, you're going to have it. The family generation, and the legacy, you're going to get it. So watch out, and let's avoid that, and really worried about it. Epigenetics is about the fact that your genes respond to the environment that you create. Excuse me. So they can shift and change all the time. And how you think, your thoughts, become things. So you can change your genes, your genetics, at any moment. So when we talk about environment, our environment is really what we're thinking all day long. So if you're mad all day long.
Right.
If you're serene all day long. But since we're humans and we react, what is your predominant thought pattern? So you just said to me during the break, which is really great, that your wife says to you, you know what, honey, you have a lot of things that you're thinking about right now, but it's not as serious as cancer or death.
Yeah,
and you go, yeah, honey, thank you so much for bringing me back to what's reasonable. You have this nice ebb and flow, this yin and yang with one another.
Well, what's more important? We were talking about road rage, and I was saying, my goodness, are you so caught up and so angry that you're going to use a vehicle because you got stuck behind somebody in a red light or a yellow light, or they cut you off, and
All right,
yet,
perfect.
Yeah.
Epigenetics on that. So you're at the red light, you're about to go into work, you're going to have a presentation, somebody gives you the finger, they cut you off, you've got road rage, and so for the rest of the day, how you treat your people in the meeting, your cortisol is going absolutely crazy, and you don't need all that cortisol because there is not a mountain lion about to claw your face off. And that cortisol is coursing through your body, your 100 trillion cells, and your predominant thoughts is that guy is a stinker, she is a blah, 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 and you're attracting all of that and coursing that through your body, and your body becomes cortisol-filled, angry, and it shifts your genes, and your genes begin to deteriorate or invite in disease. Like, I'm going to go eat that donut because that feels good. No, I'm going to have 6 donuts instead. So your environment, you're creating your environment through what you're thinking. It's epigenetics. So how you think is how you run your life,
well, exactly.
run your relationships, run your team, and your genes can shift. So people who, this is classic. Somebody who came from the, like Harlem or, from Bosnia, for heaven's sakes, when they had that genocide, and they came to the United States, and they're so positive, and they know it can work, and everything's going to be wonderful. They have this wonderful life. And then there's some kid from a billionaire's family that's like, that ends up with diabetes and, type C hepatitis and blah, 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 and isn't well. So what's going on there?
Oh, their body's going to take it on the chin, and the next thing is
it's the thought.
Well, yeah, and you know this better than anybody. Stress
It does, and that's why we did messy stress, and that's a good segue right there. Messy stress, MESSYSTRESS.com. Got a download on there. I'm not going to sell you anything. You just sign up for it. You get the download. You can use it anywhere you want to. We call it Perfect Abundance, but it's a calming. It's sweet. You can play it. You don't have to stick your earbuds in. You can do anything you want while you're listening to it. Yeah.
It truly is.
It's killing you because it's making you react when you don't have to do that, and you're constantly stressing the rhythmic way that your body operates. Sleep, nutrition. Nobody can skip that. And if you're constantly pushing that button called anger, it's not working, relationships are out of sync, you begin to shift the genes that run how your body wants to be, and your epigenetics, your thoughts, become your life. And there you go. So you can shift all of that. If you come from a family that's not been well, you can still be well.
Well, and the next thing is I always default to teaching our kids how because they're modeling after us and they're watching all of this craziness. And
sure they are.
And you have to get them to take a breath and understand, because their coping mechanisms are basically at zero. Not all, but most. A lot of kids are struggling, and it's because the families are broken. So here's this wonderful this stress issue. And Natalie, it's great to have you on. We're talking with Natalie Manor and her website, themessystress.com. You can get to that and pick up a great. She's always got great tools on her website. She's been doing this for a long time. She's written books. She's talked all over the United States, and it's great to have her on because of this. Ebook coming up on confidence. This is not out yet, but you're working on it. 10 chapters?
10 ebooks, actually. It's going to be business communication etiquette, one on stress, one on listening, one on relationships, one on family, one on money. The confidence of being in a relationship, the confidence of having money. Yep. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well,
it's really all of the stuff I've done in my career, my life, put in these books.
Wow, that's great, Natalie. And what's interesting is I talk a lot about, confidence and being empowered and just, from motivating people to where they can have a great day and live that. And you either take a choice, either be angry all day long and, you stress and you're, like you said, the cortisol up and down, you crash. We didn't even mention coffee and what that does. All the caffeinated drinks and everything, or depression. And you look at all of the folks that are suffering from mental issues and things like that. It's really dilapidating.
Yeah. So, your listeners are listening right now and say, Natalie, I know all this stuff. Craig, I know all this stuff. How the heck we start avoiding it. And in the confidence here, I'm going to give you the number 2 things. Breathing. Just breathe.
Huge.
Breathe deeply, push your diaphragm out, do it 3 times in a row before you go into a meeting, or you're going to say that thing to your wife or your partner that you ought not say it. Just take 3 deep breaths. And the other thing is act in body stance like the person you admire the most, who is the most calm, the most generous, the most abundant, the most healthy that you've ever met. When you stand like them, your body goes, oh, we're feeling confident right now. It's, it's like improv. But I have this person, I happen to absolutely adore Louise Hay. She's 88 this summer, and she's doing tango. She has an almost $1 billion company, and she does self-development, and she practices this stuff all day long. But if I were to stand right now, I'm going to stand up and be like Louise Hay. She's thin, she's dynamic, she's beautiful, she's articulate. If I stand like a beautiful, thin, articulate, successful woman, I'm standing differently than I would if I was like, that son of a bitch runs me off the road, go to family and shoot him with my gun. It's a different way of being. And you are not disconnected from your 100 trillion cells. If you bend your index finger, your toe, and your left foot nose, you are an interconnected, sympathetic, rhythmic operating system within your own body, and it's easy to care for that. But getting you there when you're like rrr, and off track, just stand or sit like the person you admire the most, and it will begin to tell your body you're okay. And then you take a deep breath. Because, Craig, when a child is born, they say, are they breathing? And when somebody passes on, did they stop breathing? You can't do anything without the breath.
I love that. Yeah.
2 things.
Well,
emulate that which you want and take a deep breath. And I'll tell you, it saved me many times from saying or doing something that would not be appropriate.
Well, and here's the next thing is when we do screw up, I've found that you just address it head on and say, hey, I blew it, I'm sorry, and you let it go and you move on. Otherwise, if you don't, you carry the screw up.
Yeah, you carry it in your thoughts and your body.
Yeah. So, because we're not perfect, we're going to make mistakes, we're going to mess up. It's just a matter of how do you reset as quickly as we can. Well, Natalie, we could go all day. It's great to have you on, but I'm out of time, unfortunately. But it's just great to have you on.
Love being with you. Love being with you. Love being with your listeners. Thank you so much. You ask great questions, and I'm glad you're interested because there's just so much for us there to be confidently stress-free and feel good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, Natalie Manor. You get to her website, messystress.com. It's great to have you on, Natalie. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You bet. Take care. Wow, so much fun. We got to get to a quick break, and then we'll come back. More on the Sunrise Show after this. You can find us on the web, kcmxam.com. All of our links are there. The phone number, 541-772-8255. You can hit me up on email, craig@radiomedford.com. Wow, did you get that from Natalie? Fantastic stuff. Okay, getting to a break on the Sunrise Show. A little bold, extremely fun on News Radio 880 KCMX. Back after this.